It's easy to love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? It's easy to love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me?
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Casey Allen Outdoor Podcast. Due to inclement weather, we will be filming inside today. So with that being said, today's topic is going to be Andrew Tate, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard in the media at one point or another, good or bad. But to start out, for those of you who don't know who Andrew Tate is, he is a British professional kickboxer, entrepreneur, and social media personality, which he has been banned from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and almost every other social media outlet at one point or another, until he was then reinstated on Twitter recently since Elon Musk has taken over. With that being said, he has very numerous accolades when it comes to kickboxing. He won the 2016 and 2017 World Championships, the Super Cruiserweight and Sport Karate Association. But aside from his sports career, he's obviously known for his controversial social media presence and personal life. He gained a lot of attention in 2016 when he won the reality television show Big Brother UK and sparked controversy with his comments about women and mental health. Now, Tate is also a successful entrepreneur and has founded several businesses, including a webcam modeling company and a cryptocurrency trading platform. He is also known for his unapologetic and proactive personality, which has both gained him a large following and attractive criticism. But overall, Andrew Tate is a polarizing figure known for his achievements in kickboxing, entrepreneurship, as well as his controversial statements on social media. Now, to get started there, you have to take a dive and actually see what this guy says. And because a lot of the people will just make accusations and form opinions without actually doing any research or having anything to back up what they're saying. And that's why so many false narratives are formed. And this directly applies to Tate because he's been labeled a misogynist, a sex trafficker, and all these things that there has been no evidence whatsoever. But to this day, Andrew and his brother Tristan remain incarcerated by Romanian authorities. It was December of 2022 when the brothers were arrested. And this was a very odd incident because this happened over Twitter when Greta Thunberg, a climate activist, was a little upset about Andrew Tate tweeting that he has 33 cars and her being worried about carbon emissions and all the things climate activists worry about. But so you see here over a bizarre series of tweets that Andrew actually revealed his location afterwards in a video with him and a pizza box revealing where he was at, which then Romanian authorities, having alleged arrest warrants for him, therefore see his location and then make the arrest. And you'll see in this video right here.
And make sure that these boxes are not recycled. Thank you. So I'm actually and convinced her to try and convince you to beg your government to tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot.
So there you have it, the famous Andrew Tate pizza box video that eventually led to his arrest. And putting all that aside, and you actually look at his message in general, which is to motivate young men to pursue physical fitness, develop a strong, confident mindset, and in general, he believes that physical fitness is what makes a man masculine and really leads to the full potential of what a man is supposed to be. And you can't really disagree with that message. I mean, when you think of a situation where your life is in danger, you would want someone who's masculine and has the ability to physically protect you. And that's the case when it comes to firefighters, police officers, and really any job. I mean, even wrestlers, MMA fighters. I mean, some of the largest men. You're not going to be some little skinny twerp and do very well against those guys. So his message is masculinity and build yourself physically. I don't see a problem with that, but others say that's toxic masculinity. I have yet to find an argument with a valid opposition, but here is Lorraine Kelly trying to do so. Very compelling there. I like how they resort to, oh, he's just a regular person, he's an ordinary person, he's said nothing that's new. No. Well, try telling that to the 5.4 million Twitter followers and the fact that he's one of the most Googled men on the planet. That is just ignorance right there. But there you have it. A lot of these opinions are formed on the basis of little to no information, and that's exactly what you just saw there. So there's obviously a lot of people out to get him. There's a lot of people that do not like him, and as we can clearly see. So with all that in mind, his current status, he has been incarcerated for 80 to 90 days, him, his brother, and 2 other women that are involved. And during their incarceration, there has been little progress as to the developments of the charges, how and when they can get out. And it almost seems as if the Romanian authorities are just holding them without any cause at this point. And we've seen that with their government laws, that they can hold them up to 6 months without any reason. And by then they will have to charge them with something, or they must be released. So they're approaching month 4 in this. But the latest news is that the U.S. Embassy is potentially going to help the release of Andrew and Tristan Tate, is what we're hearing. In the latest BSN video update, it was reported that Tate's lawyer Tina Glandian spoke about legal letters sent on behalf of the Tate brothers. BSN is known to keep Tate supporters informed of developments in the case. In the video, Tate's lawyer stated, "It's a case signed by civil attorneys in the U.S. because it pertains to a civil defamation case which will be filed here in the U.S. Every day that the Tate brothers are unlawfully detained, they are not only harmed on a personal level, but they also incur substantial monetary damages to the various businesses which they were running before the sudden arrest. So they have a duty under the law here to mitigate their damages, and the civil attorney believed a cease and desist letter was necessary for the first step before ultimately filing the civil lawsuit." According to Glandian, the Tate brothers are not attempting to intimidate anyone, but are rather seeking to uncover the truth and take all necessary legal measures to clear their names. She also added, "We are grateful that the U.S. Embassy has now taken interest in this case. I now know that one of their highest priorities is to provide assistance to U.S. citizens detained abroad like they've done for countless other citizens and recently for Brittany Griner and Taylor Dudley. We are now optimistic that with their assistance we can finally take the Tate brothers home. Despite over 80 days have passed, no substantial evidence has been found to support their charges, leading the U.S. Embassy to intervene. This development is sure to excite Tate supporters, who have been waiting eagerly for updates. The involvement of the embassy may bring new insights and resources to the case, providing hope for a resolution. However, only time will tell what impact the development will have on the ongoing investigation." So, as you see there, they have a very bold lawyer. I would say she's doing an excellent job at doing everything she can legally do to get the Tate brothers out of their wrongful incarceration. Now, we've seen in the past that he has actually predicted all of this to happen. In a video, it was a podcast about 3 months before his arrest, which I will show right here.
Listen, and I'm going to say this on this podcast now, because I say it in every other one. I would never, ever kill myself. I truly believe they're going to come and they're going to try and kill me on a long enough time frame, because they tried to shut me up and I won't shut up. They're either going to try and put me in jail or they're going to kill me. And I would never kill myself under any circumstances ever. And the reason I say this, and I say this to people, and they go, "But what can they put you in jail for?" And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason? You believe it's fair. You believe I can get a lawyer and prove myself innocent. That's not how it works. They decide you're guilty long before and they find a reason why. And it doesn't matter what you do about it, you will pay the fucking price. It's not fair. None of it is. Every single system's corrupt. It actually annoys me when people say it to me. "Well, just get a lawyer. Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent." Yes, they fucking can. And that's what people don't understand about the world. They can and they do and they fucking will.
Wow, that was spot on. I don't understand how you could have predicted that well. Like, that was literally spot on. I mean, the fact that he understands that governments operate this way and there is a force after him, he is, I mean, gotta be one of the most brilliant men on the planet for understanding something like that. I mean, wow, that's bizarre to a whole nother level. I mean, this may be one of the most corrupt cases we've seen across the world ever. And not even that it's the most corrupt, it's the fact that it's the most corrupt case with this large of a public figure. I mean, this is literally one of the most Googled men on the planet, and he's wrongfully incarcerated for everything that we know. And everything on top of that is just, it's mind-boggling. But you really have to admire about this guy is the fact that he's able to tweet, or at least send messages out to his team to then tweet for him. So he's been able to communicate with his audience throughout this entire time, and he spends his days literally writing to his fans, and it's absolutely crazy. He actually tweeted the other day that, and honestly really motivated me. He said, you should not let a man in a cell outwork you. So he's doing 750 push-ups a day and 1,000 squats and 20-kilometer runs. If you aren't beating that, then I think you have to reevaluate your life. I'm not saying everyone should be able to do that every single day, but I mean, if you aren't even matching that at least close, then that's a real head scratcher there. I mean, the fact that he is literally motivating people in a jail cell. It's absolutely insane, and it's no question that he has the influence that he does on the vast majority of young men. And we really need more people like this. I think his message is not only being strong and tough, it's about speaking up for what you believe in and speaking out against the injustices, against the tyrannical governments that have so longly oppressed us and continue to do things like this. And they're not going to stop. I mean, what is stopping the elite of the elitist when they're the ones on the top and they are making all the rules? There is arguably no way to stop something like this. And what's really important here is this could happen to any of us. If this can happen to one of the most influential men on the planet, this could happen to you or me tomorrow. So this is the world we live in. This is what could very well happen to the entire planet. I mean, this is in Romania. This happened in Bucharest. So this is not necessarily on U.S. soil, but we've seen similar instances, and it's very likely that something like this is going to happen again. The media, the corporate elites do not like when someone has an opposing opinion that could then, lead to the detriment of their company, or, it just goes against something that they believe in. And that's the world we live in today. You get canceled because you say something that others don't agree with. And again, thank God for Twitter. We have Elon for that. So Tate can still get his messages across to his fans, and that's huge. It's really important. Unlike other platforms where you can't even see anything. You try to YouTube anything on Andrew Tate, you might find a few videos and none full lengths of the podcast in which he discusses controversially deemed issues such as women, masculinity, and the Matrix. And the Matrix is a very interesting topic because if you've never heard of it, it actually relates to the movie in the early 2000s starring Keanu Reeves called The Matrix. It's essentially the idea that humans give off energy to the machines, and that is what powers the machines, and therefore altering the mind space of the humans and taking control of them. And in a way, he's actually right. But the average person that hears this is going to say that's way far-fetched. That's like outer space to them. But in reality, it's very, very transparent to the world that we live in. And the ideology is also that we're working for valueless dollars, which our economy prints every second and can print every second. So why are we saving this valueless paper when we could be actually putting our wealth towards something valuable and that's going to maintain that value? And that's why I don't save in dollars. I save in commodities and things that I can control. That's definitely the way to do it. But yeah, those three issues are mainly why he's deemed controversial. It is why the public do not like him. A certain part of the public, which those are the people that believe he's a misogynist and are not about masculinity and are very feminist, in my opinion. And the other half that does not like him are the elitists, meaning the people that run the government and the people that are in charge. They see him as a threat because everything he suggests, everything that he's about, is contrary to what the governments believe. And what runs the government and the core of what powers them is really what he is, the opposition of what he's saying. And he's exactly right, that we are taken advantage of. We are being paid in something that is worthless. There's no debate there. And I mean, it's very transparent to the real world, the Matrix is, if you actually take time to look into it. And because obviously the idea is very crazy at first. Anyone who says anything near this is going to be deemed insane, like shoot them off to Mars. Like, no one's going to take anyone seriously that has any ideas like that. But the people that do, they analyze this and they make a change. And that's what I've done. I've taken a lot of advice and a lot of information from people like Andrew Tate and some of the most brilliant men in the world. And I've taken that and put it into my own words. I've paraphrased it, and in time I've found common ideologies in common with them that have altered the way that I think and have effectively changed the way that I see the world in a better way. And learning the truth is what's important. I'm not saying go out and idolize these people to understand them. It's simply listening with open ears and being able to elaborate it in your own words. That's what's important. We need more people just like him to speak up and speak out, because when things like this happen, it's meant to scare society. It's meant to scare the public into not wanting to speak out on their own behalf. And that's what makes us human beings. That's what makes us extraordinary. Unlike the machines and unlike Andrew's theory of the Matrix, which is more and more beginning to make sense. And it's honestly scary how true he is and how right he is about a lot of these things. But again, if he didn't say some of these things, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. He wouldn't be all over the news. He wouldn't have millions of followers and be as influential as he is. That's why he's worth mentioning. I will continue to provide updates on this case as we look for only positive news in the future. Like I said before, the Romanian authorities can legally hold them up to 6 months without any indictments. And so far we're about halfway there. They have until June to find anything on them. I want to end things with a motivational video about Andrew Tate to give you guys another glance about what he means and what his messages he's trying to get across. But other than that, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you could hit the subscribe and like button down below. Until next time.
The behavior should be kept within a line.
Please define toxic masculinity.
Well, you tell me what you think it crosses a line from being a masculine, good man to a bad man.
There's no such thing as too much masculinity if it's genuinely masculine. Genuine masculinity is not out here to hurt people. It's absolutely the opposite. It's out here to protect. And when bad things happen, they call traditionally masculine men. If you need a firefighter, you need a masculine man. When you call the police because of the problem you have, you want masculine men. And as soon as a woman or a man is in trouble, when you look for backup, you look for masculine men. And masculine men have a duty to provide and protect those they care about. We have a duty to do things we don't feel like doing because we know we're supposed to do them. And that's why we stayed in the Titanic and died. Those were masculine men.
Where did you get your views about this from?
This is what I grew up with. It's the family I grew up around. And
your father, your mother?
Yeah,
both?
and the world I live in.
All them is dumb boy.